We are ready now for the second half. Costa Rica playing catch-up, looking to win their first Gold Cup title. The United States out 1-0 leaders here at the Rose Bowl. And Alan, the Gold Cup has been a great tournament, but certainly there's some talk about some teams not sending their best players. And how do they stimulate more interest amongst the football federations when they send these teams here? I mean, I don't know how much more interest you should develop the fact that it's February and you're in a World Cup year. It's 5 teams that are going to the World Cup participating here. What incentive can there be to make it more worth their while?
Well, I think for countries like Haiti and Martinique, the offside flag up here on Costa Rica, it's been a great tournament.
Yeah.
Still developing. I think Cuba represented themselves very well. And for teams like Mexico, it's tough. The Verano going on right now. First division clubs reluctant to let their star players go for a tournament. It just depends on how the federation deems it in terms of priority. Costa Rica is sending much of their regulars, even compromising with Manchester City to get Juancho the second half of the tournament. I think this 6th edition has been very good simply because it's been a World Cup year. 5 teams headed to the World Cup finals, all here in this tournament. The only team that probably really disappointed was Ecuador, who had a quick 2 barbecue in their 2002 Gold Cup.
Well, I was talking to our colleague, Flaco Jacobo, and his weekly column, Jacobo's Ladder. And we were talking about maybe the winner of the Gold Cup gets an automatic bid into the Copa America, or, depending on time, an automatic bid for the World Cup. Imagine.
Well, they could rejig a lot of the World Cup qualifying. People in Africa are talking about the African Nations Cup serving as a qualifier, and they're also talking about the Copa America serving as a qualifying tournament in South America. Good-looking ball.
They're in the cross. Juancho.
The winner of this match gets a bid into the Confederations Cup. The U.S. in '98 were there and did very well in that edition of the, 2000. After playing well in '98, getting invited to the Confederations Cup, and they had a good showing, finishing 3rd.
So some food for thought for everyone. Future Gold Cups. There's a ball by Juancho. Look at all these moves he did at the end as well. But I think he outmaneuvered himself. Alexander Guimaraes, the Brazilian-born Costa Rican head coach. What a great job he has done. Costa Rica, of course, the first coaching stop for Baro Milutinovic, who we saw earlier during his Gold Cup, in the same suite as Steve Sampson. And then, of course, a couple coaches that didn't do so well, and he has been the first man since Milutinovic to get Costa Rica back in the World Cup.
Ran to Coach Milutinovic earlier, and I asked him what was the early line on him and the next country he'll be at after guiding China in the World Cup finals. He had a chuckle and a wry smile. He said, talk to you in 2004. That's usually when he surfaces a couple of years before a World Cup campaign. But he said he could qualify in China. And the Chinese have had opportunities before to qualify for the World Cup. And he finally did it.
And China in Costa Rica's group, so.
But we saw FIFA President Sepp Blatter here. It's a big-time tournament. A lot of dignitaries have made the trip to the United States.
Castro, early goings in this second half, left back. Well, at halftime, there were no substitutions for the United States. There was one for Costa Rica. Luis Marin, the defender, replaced by midfielder Walter Centeno.
I don't think it has anything to do with Marin getting beaten by Wolf. Coach Guimaraes having to chase that goal, so he wants Centeno, who's had a good tournament, try to help keep Costa Rica in the match.
Castro, Costa Rica, a spirited beginning here. Gomez, reflecting off a Boca Negra, corner kick, Costa Rica. Turning Lopez, still in play, no. Goal kick.
Keller, who was a backup to Tony Meola in Italia 90, was a youngster.
Tony Meola now the backup for Keller.
Yep. And Meola, the only player who was a part of the 91 United States Gold Cup winning side.
Meola may get caught up in a numbers game despite his great performances in recent years. In the MLS.
Well, really, it'll be who fights for that third goalkeeping spot. Zach Thornton has been here as well. But it's been Meola that has been on the squad list for the matches.
Wanchope, Agus. Wanchope separates, but a weak cross for Casey Keller. Tim Howard, Nick Raimondo, a couple young keepers that Bruce Arena keeps mentioning as perhaps candidates of making that squad. Probably not, but for World Cup 2006, knock on wood that we're in there, maybe their team. Brad Friedel not here, but Blackburn Rovers really struggling in the EPL. That really can't bode well for his chances, as good as Casey Keller's playing. But I still think Friedel, the #1 choice, as he has been through all of World Cup qualifying for Bruce Arena.
See, and I say right now that Keller is your guy, but again, so many months still separate us and the first match for the United States against Portugal.
Yeah, but it's coming quick. Castro's cross. Wanchope left a bit short. Agus heads it down the cross by Stephen Bryce.
Job by Agus, scrambling back defensively. Bryce has actually held his own. He's had a couple of good moments. He's gotten the better of Agus a couple times.
Walter Centeno with his first touch. It's going to be a set piece, corner kick.
Centeno has discarded the white boots he sported until now in this tournament.
It was Agus again. See if Centeno can get this midfield operating a little smoother. As Lopez and Solis weren't able to do it. There is Solis. He plays it back to Martinez. Martinez made a nice run there. Bryce blocked by Donovan. Wallace. Wanchope. Bocanegra to the midfield. Donovan awaits, and he is fouled by Wilmer Lopez. Carlos Batres again, our referee from Guatemala. Maybe World Cup bound himself. We will soon find out. Bryce takes a nasty hop for Lopez. Costa Rica, a lot of touches, but going nowhere. And now they're offside.
Frustration beginning to show itself. I don't know how that could be offside. Like a blown call there. Gimanes, a member of Costa Rica's only other World Cup appearance. Italia 90. Got into the second round.
He's over Sweden and Scotland. Who would have thunk it? Did lose Brazil in their group that time. Gimanes, a teammate of a guy who's still out there on the bench. Hernan Medford. There's a man down for the United States. I think it's Jones. Armas. And no one sees him. A hard challenge, and this will give us a chance to check in on fallen Kobe Jones. Ouch.
Jones still not on his feet. Now the medical staff, the trainers on to evaluate Jones. I'm sure he'll want to forget that moment from his 150th appearance with the United States.
Wow. We all know how that feels like. Not all of us, but it's not pleasant. Sometimes worse than others. We used to call it the old capital of Thailand when that happened to us. Eddie Lewis plays it in. Parks. Up with a throw in the United States. Casual approach right now with lead in hand. Wolf. Oh, he's through. Wolf's cross. There is Lewis. And Wallace in front of him. Kobe Joe. And a corner kick. Kobe Jones having a very effective match on the fringes there.
Good move that time by Josh Wolf. Eddie Lewis, ball watch. Anticipated better, could have maybe stepped in front for a tackling goal. Nonetheless, he'll take this corner now, minute 57.
Short to Jones. Bocanegra. Slipping in there is Armas to play it back to Casey Keller. Keller again.
See Egan stepping up at the last moment. Pushing one trip offside.
Centeno. Cut out by Agus. Wallace. Last touch by Eddie Lewis.
Good shape and organization defensively for the U.S. Everyone marking up. Every defender's got cover.
Good looking cross from Wallace, but there's Mastroeni. Oh, a very shy approach at the ball that time from, I believe, Solis. Counter-attack. In full effect, Eddie Lewis. Wolf. No one there to receive it.
The ball by Lewis is going to be played on the ground, so Wolf can take a touch and be going toward goal. So Wallace is going to come out for Hernan Medford, the Costa Rican legend.
Playing back in Costa Rica for the first time in many years after a long stay in Mexican football, which I think he played with every team in the league.
Twice.
He's in there, 33 years young. Guimaraes not waiting any longer. He wants to get more offensive players in there. McBride. We have played an hour. United States 1-0 in front of Costa Rica. Goal by Josh Wolf in minute 37. Looking to win their second Gold Cup, the first in 11 years. It was the inaugural Copa de Oro Gold Cup. Is there a foul here against the United States? Nope.
Well, in Italia 90, the U.S. were just happy to be there, and they were able to parlay that success into winning the 91 Gold Cup. Now it's a little bit different. How can they turn this into something positive for Korea, Japan if they're able to hold on here for the result.
Donovan lifts it towards the far post. Martinez, you figure, may have had to make that play with Kobe Jones behind him.
Great ball by Donovan. Superior vision. The work is magic there. Another corner.
Here's the cross. Boca Negra. Agus. The offside trap didn't work that time, but it works the second time around.
Let's see on the replay. I'll tell you what, Martinez kept everyone on side when the ball is played. But then the next ball across was the one where Donovan was offside.
McBride. Donovan, a sharp ball for him. Marked by Parks, lost his footing, and Parks pounces on the opportunity. Bryce. 5 Costa Rican players across the midfield, and Bryce should have used them. Instead, he turns it over to Jeff Agus. McBride, this time Wolf getting it wide. It gets there. Donovan. And a free kick. Late whistle, but a whistle nonetheless for the United States.
Donovan played the ball, and then he was fouled. Not a good place for a foul, not that there ever is. Park should know better. The ball's away, but he continues on, and this will be a free kick in a good spot. Jeff Agus, who converted one of his penalties against Canada. The United States 4 for 4 in the penalty kick shootout. That could help them in the World Cup as well, that experience.
Jeff Agus behind it. Eddie Lewis as well. So it's going to be a left footer. And it looks like it will be Agus to take. Over the wall, into the corner, goal! Oh, Jeff Agus, sublime free kick taking. And the United States have a cushion.
Big-time free kick here from Goose. Oh, world class. He hit that one very well. He knew it was good after he hit it. 2-0, United States on their way. You can't hit it much better than that.
A great finish. And you gotta feel good for Jeff Agus, showing that this guy is multifaceted. And the more things you could do, the more of an impact you will make. The United States licking their chops, 2-0 in front.
4th goal for Agus in his international career. It's probably one of the better ones.
Oh, well, Lonnie's got a very late start to it, but he never saw it coming. Let's see how the Costa Ricans respond. Time is becoming short. Over the head of Medford. Now, Boca Negra. He's lost it, though. Medford into the midfield. Centeno couldn't handle it. Landon Donovan. Out of the reach of Josh Wolf. Lopez. Rice. Martinez. Working that ball around now, Costa Rica. Until then, Mastroeni. He gives it right back. Centeno. Gomez. That one played in. The target was Wancho. Bryce. Heels it back, but there's Lewis. All sorts of space for McBride. Now Landon Donovan. Back to McBride. Is it 3-0? Played in. Kobe Jones just a millisecond late.
Great work by McBride and Donovan. Keeping that sequence going with a simple ball to McBride. Good cutback. McBride gets that head up. Plays it into space. You see Kobe Jones is trying to get there, and he perhaps stepped too late.
Lonis just caught eye of that in time as well. Now the United States improving at every stage. They got by the Republic of Korea 2-1 in one of the better matches of the tournament. Then looked a bit stagnant against Cuba, 1-0, but Cuba turned out to be a much better team than everyone anticipated. To the quarterfinals where they demolished El Salvador. They dominated Canada but couldn't score the goal. And then they've reached this point and have 2 goals and are looking good. A long distance shot from at least Stephen Bryce, no Centeno.
Costa Rica fans supporting their club, but right now perplexed. The United States has been the better side from the opening whistle. They're on their way here with Costa Rica. Not threatening. Wancho is kind of dipped now. This level of play. He was the one guy that really kept things going for Costa Rica in the attack. Evert has yet to get on track since coming on.
Sorry about that, Alan. Keep in mind also that Costa Rica played all their matches with the exception of the semifinal in Miami. That may have some effect. You want to get familiar with your surroundings. The United States have been in Pasadena and Pasadena only. William, do you want to be starting Sunsing? Obviously not if you're Guimaraes. Off the bench today.
Sunsing a few times. He was the obviously New England Revolution lost in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup to the LA Galaxy. Sunsing a part of that Revolution side. Costa Rica has been on FSW throughout World Cup qualifying, featuring as well in this Gold Cup.
The last time I got to work with you, Mr. Hopkins.
It's been a while. First time this year.
I felt kind of awkward when we got in here at first, but I'm warming up again.
It's one of my New Year's resolutions to work more matches with you, Matt Fletcher. Of course, I have no say in that, so.
We can grease some things around here.
Yes, we'll try.
Back to Lonis. Solis. He's done a disappearing act today. Played through by Wancho. Wancho just taking a machete to the defenders of the United States as he tried to get through there. Took Haydock down. Throw in Costa Rica.
And again, it's been a good spirited game. We haven't seen too many off-the-ball altercations. Team's doing a good job of staying focused. See if that continues, though, as we progress toward the 90th minute and the scoreline remains the same.
Martinez. Well, we saw Costa Rica about to make their 3rd substitution. The United States have not made one yet. Donovan. It really is fun to watch. An amazing sense of where he is at all the time.
And he's just only going to get better. Yep. Right there, he'll realize he didn't have to rush to play that ball into the mixer.
Headed down by Agus. Bocanegra pushed off the ball by Gomez. No whistle. Gomez, a great chance for Costa Rica to cut into this lead. The shot, and it's parried wide by Keller.
Big moment right there for Casey Keller. Lopez turned, had no one near him, realized it, curled in a good shot. It was just touched away nicely by Keller. Great technique.
William Sunsing is in. He replaces Carlos Castro. Played in, good header away. It's on by Bocanegra, now McBride. So Alexander Guimaraes has all his offensive weapons out there now with Sunsing, Wanchope, Medford, and Gomez. But who's going to get him the ball?
That's been the problem. Lopez, that's the first time we called his name almost in this entire half. He struggled to get anything going, any rhythm. And really Wanchope, he's had to go it alone too many times.
Keep in mind, Wanchope in that victory over Korea was not even a factor in the match. And then at the end, wham! He's the difference maker. Ah, the life of a forward. 70 minutes plus in the books. USA 2, Costa Rica 0. First half goal by Josh Wolf. Second half goal by Jeff Hagens. Solis into Martinez. Medford, and a flag is up on Hernan Medford. Wait, hold everything. Nope, he was offside.
From a live angle, it didn't look like he was, but in the replay, you see a couple steps past the last defender for the United States.
One of the former clubs of Hernan Medford. I was looking at the Copa Libertadores draw. Since when are Morelia now called the Monarcas of Morelia? What gives? Armas. Active feet there in the corner. Or Sunsing, but he couldn't do much with it. This really would be a great start for the United States in World Cup preparation to get yourself a title, defend your own territory. They set off for Europe after this. Now ball up to Lewis. Lewis is offside.
And again, playing in these sort of tournaments, it's going to have the biggest carryover factor into the World Cup.
Barks. London Donovan. Pushing out, Martinez on him. Nice ball inside Lewis. Kobe Jones up and over, and the first yellow card of the match for Costa Rica coming in minute 74, and it's against Stephen Bryce.
And he had a yellow card since Chris Armas was booked in the 17th minute. You see Bryce tripping up Kobe Jones. Looked like the attack was going to die at the foot of Eddie Lewis, but he's able to touch it on to Jones, who draws the foul, and a chance now for 3.
2 goals should be enough. 3 goals would be too much to make up for Costa Rica at this stage. Donovan, no! Palo! How about the free kicks from the Americans?
And that's something that's been missing from the attacking cachet of the United States.